Hello, my name is Zidni Zidan Fasya Falik, and today I will talk about tolerance and compassion. First, I will talk about tolerance. In Indonesia, it must be familiar with the word tolerance. In the motto Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, there is already an example of tolerance, which is different but still one. With tolerance, we can live in peace and also respect others. But until now, there are still people who do not understand what tolerance is. Like tolerance in terms of religion. Recently, during a corona pandemic, a Christian was raided by local residents for violating large-scale social restriction. Even though worship is the right of every citizen, and that person is according to recommendation. Second is compassion. There are many kinds of compassions, like compassion for others, compassion for brothers, compassion from God for His servants, and others. Compassion motivates a person to help with the physical, mental, or emotional pain of others and themselves. These two aspects help each other. With an attitude of tolerance will increase brotherhood, and from that will arise a sense of affection for others even though they have difference. In ethnicity and race in Indonesia, there is also very often intolerance. For example, you often hear people who are of Chinese descent insulted by Chinese as slanted, Chinese are stingy, Chinese are mercenaries, and this hatred has started 300 years ago in 1740. The Dutch captured and oppressed the Chinese, who ended up with more than 10,000 people dying. It didn't stop there. In 1825, the daughter of Sultan Hamengkubuwono I, Raden Ayu Yudakusuma, invaded Ngawi and slaughtered the Chinese. Until 1967, there was still a Red Ball incident in West Kalimantan, where hundreds of people died and 10,000 fled to coastal cities. Not only in the real world, but in cyberspace or social media, there is also a lot of intolerance. By responding to or making comments on something that creates intolerance. This can occur because first, an identity crisis where an individual or group feels unappreciated in their social environment, then they seek refuge on social media. Second, emotionally unstable. This is susceptible to being played with the infiltrated by certain group with interest. How do we deal with this intolerance? First of all, intolerance is generally born out of rejection and fear of ignorance in responding to difference in culture, nation, and religions. This lack of understanding leads individuals to be arrogant and exaggerate themselves or their group. These ideas are taught and learned in childhood from the environment, school, family, or community. Therefore, education is needed that teach children to understand tolerance in an involuntary manner, so that children can learn to understand the different life around them and learn to be tolerant without the need for coercion. Tolerance education is also needed for all age, considering that education is not only in school, but it can be applied at home, community, organization, job training, law environment, community environment, and information lines. Second, with compassion. With this compassion, you will respect others more, which is the same as love between fellow Muslims. But it is done to people of different religions. So you will feel that we are fellow humans, and humans have the right to choose their religions and carry out their worship. With that, you will better know or understand what tolerance is. Once we understand tolerance, we will get benefits such as maintaining community relations in order to remain harmonious amid difference. With an attitude of tolerance, comfort and public peace will be maintained without conflict due to certain difference. Prevent split due to the many difference. The occurrence of a split that can harm each individual in carrying out social activities. Complement and unite difference because difference have the potential to cause conflict. Whether we realize it or not, tolerance has a positive impact on its repeated applications, such as building a sense of nationalism, instilling a sense of brotherhood, fostering a sense of love and compassion. In this way, we can reduce intolerance in Indonesian society, in the real world as well as in cyberspace, and can better understand tolerance so as to create a peaceful and harmonious society. I apologize if there are words or pronunciation that are wrong, and thank you for listening to my speech.